All right, Grant, pre-show shenanigans. I saw this post the other day, and this is going to relate to World Series. So I don't know if you're going to want to jump off on that when we
All
start the
right.
episode or not. But um, I saw a stat that was saying this is just a reminder that senior year Aaron Judge may be the greatest single year of a high school athlete of all time. Okay. Senior year Aaron
Okay.
Judge. He put up in football 54 receptions for 970 yards and 17 touchdowns. Baseball hit 500, 7 home runs, 32 RBIs, and basketball averaged 18.2 points per game, 13 rebounds, and was the all state center. Um, Great stats. Don't get me wrong. Triple sport,
Uh,
great stats.
Phenomenal, excellent.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
there's a guy.
There's a guy
There's
that
this
happens to be
dude. Not sure if you guys ever heard of him. His name rhymes with Mo Wower.
Mo Wow.
Uh,
Yeah.
he was a
Let me
pretty good high school
introduce.
athlete.
Let me introduce you guys to the greatest high school athlete of all time.
Ever.
Literally cannot ever be touched.
When you hear the term "big man on campus," he was like the big dot on campus.
Yeah.
Okay. He
So
surpassed man. He ascended to spiritual
let's
holy levels.
let's say
Yes. Tell
this.
me him.
I
Tell
just
me
told you
him.
guys the stats for Aaron Judge. Grant in football, Joe Mauer played quarterback. First of all,
Yeah. Yeah.
quarterback. Joe
Uh,
Mauer threw for over 3,000 yards and 41 touchdowns. All right. Basketball. I can't hear you right now. Your mic's cut out. But in basketball, Joe Mauer, 20 points per game and all-state player for basketball. All right. In baseball, he hit 605, 15 home runs, and 53 RBIs.
am I back?
You're back now. 53
Okay.
RBIs in baseball. I hope you heard all of that. He is
Uh,
also the only athlete ever to be named USA Today's National Player of the Year in two different sports, Grant. Two
okay.
different sports,
Yeah. Okay.
football and
Okay.
baseball.
Yeah. So when it comes to Joe Mauer, you just listed off all the accolades. The other thing that sticks out to me, he was a 5-star rated quarterback. Clearly, you
Yeah.
heard the stats. But he was also a 5-star quarterback. Now, Kyler Murray is the only human in the history to be a first round draft pick in the MLB and NFL.
Yes.
Uh, hey, if Joe Mauer at the time, so his senior of high school, I think it says it was 2000. 2000
Yes.
was a
That
senior of
that
high
would
school.
that would be the
I'm thinking of
timeline.
teams around that time. I guess in theory, there's a chance Mauer could have been the quarterback of the Ohio State Buckeyes when they won an OT. Like,
Well,
like
I
there's a
think
slight chance.
Mauer also the thing with Mauer is he wanted to stay in Minnesota. Like that was his deal. That's he
And
went to I
Twins
believe
were number one pick.
yeah.
Got drafted by
That
the
next year.
Twins. It was a done
Yeah, but
deal.
he obviously went I think he went to St. Thomas. Did he go to St. Thomas for baseball? I think he went to St. Thomas.
I don't know. I just know
But they
one
did
time we
not
got a mean burger right
yeah,
next to
next to
the
Joe Mauer
fields
Field.
named after Joe Mauer.
Yeah.
Not
I
many high
think
school athletes have their field named after them. Don't think there's
yeah.
many.
No, I think
Don't
that
think
was
there's a
college. I
lot.
think that was his college field. That's why I'm
I
thinking
don't.
that.
He
It
definitely
could have
didn't
been
go
his
to
high school. You know
college.
what? It could have been his. Yeah, you might be right.
He definitely didn't.
No,
Yeah, he did.
he
Oh,
did not. No,
he
he did.
yep, committed to FSU. Did not go. That's hilarious.
He
He
went to
committed to
St. Did he
FSU
go to
for
St.
football.
Thomas?
That makes sense. FSU was very lit, just coming off a natty or about to win a natty at the time. So I understand why he picked them over me. But fun fact of the day, he was taken one pick earlier. The elite college pitcher Mark Pryor, who's also the current pitching coach of the Los Angeles Dodgers. So it's all full circle.
Yeah,
But
you want to talk about having a hitting coach? Twins fans, I think you have a guy you might want to go ask if he wants to come back and help your team out a
if
little
I
bit.
were Mauer, I think I'd be done. I think I'd be done with all that stuff. But yeah, I mean the twin that'd be
Might
that'd
as
be
well
lit for the
ask. You
Twins.
might as well ask.
Yeah, but Joe Mauer, absolute legend, goat. He's quite literally um the most athletic man in Minnesota history. Is that fair to say?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, otherwise, like the other
We're going
big,
off of accomplishments total,
yeah, I mean,
and
the
a
only
lot of this has to be based off high school because
yeah, the second one I'm thinking of is probably Larry Fitzgerald, and I don't think he played any other sports. I think he just played um football.
I would
Maybe he played
bet he
basketball.
played more. I would bet he played more, but
I actually don't
no
know.
idea. No idea. But the Joe Mauer, just him being the
But
only
yeah, I mean, look,
time Gatorade player of the year in
he
different sports, that's enough. Like that
he I mean, at a
stamp that
minimum,
one.
he he is definitely the greatest athlete in Minnesota history. Done deal, sign that up just innately. He also, just by the way this is, he is the greatest high school athlete of all time, hands
Yeah,
down.
yeah.
And if he had
Mm-hmm.
decided to play football, he would have the title right now over Kyler. He would have been 1-1 in both. Or not 1-1 in both. He would have been 1-1 in baseball. 1-1 in baseball. I don't know about football, but
Yeah, no idea how that would have
no
panned
idea how
out.
that would have panned out.
Yeah. So
I
yeah,
would
no,
like
Joe
to say it
Mauer,
would be 1-1, but I don't.
we gotta give him some credit. And if there's one other quick high school goat I could shout out, Jack Flaherty had one of the most goated performances in the history of high school sports. CIF final in Dodger Stadium when he was in high school at Harvard Westlake. Jack Flaherty was a junior. On that team, seniors were Lucas Giolito and Max Fried. It was a one-game CIF final. Guess who was given the ball to start?
Flaherty.
Junior Jack Flaherty over the two seniors who were about to be first-round picks in the MLB draft, Fried and Giolito. But Flaherty got the start. He threw a 7-game no-hitter, and the Harvard Westlake Wolverines, I know, yuck, Wolverines, they won 1-0 with the only run coming from a Jack Flaherty solo shot home run. So he hit the one home, he Ohtani'd, okay? Flaherty Ohtani'd to win a ring. So that's one of the most legendary high school performances I've ever heard in my life. But yeah. That and when Kevin Parada ran for over 300 yards on Notre Dame, that was the craziest thing I've ever seen in my life.
You've been there for that. You were there for that one.
Yeah, I was the reason he only ran for 300 when it probably should have been 400. And I'm the reason he only had 5 touchdowns when it should have been 8. So that's on me, Kev. That's my fault. But yeah, Joe Mauer, got to give him his flowers. Judge still crazy though.
Still great,
still
but
ridiculous.
Don't disrespect Joe Mauer.
Yeah,
no.
We're talking about goats here. We're talking about goats here. But yeah, without further ado, what is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Waterboy Podcast. Today is episode 268. And we got a little bit of a World Series preview to dive into. I guess maybe a Thursday night football prediction.
We're getting this one under.
Before.
We're literally getting it under. We're recording it under the wire. This is not going up before. Let's clarify. This is not going up before the game is played.
So Everett, real quick. Well, when we get into NFL, you can give us your predictions for what happened. College football this weekend might not necessarily have the most exciting matchups. So maybe one of the most consequential games of the season. LSU going to A&M, the only 2 undefeated teams in the SEC.
Hey, you know what?
The winner of that game has a very, very high chance of making the playoffs.
If you guys are really interested in talking SEC football, we spent way too much time on.
We spent a lot of time diving into the Southeast.
Go back to that one. Go back to the last episode. Watch that for the college football segment because that's probably going to be the better use of your time if that's what you're here for. But I mean. I think we might have to give it to the Dodgers. I think we might have to give it to the Dodgers.
Yeah, we can start off hot with the MLB. Dodgers Yankees. This is the World Series we've been asking for. It would not surprise me if on the very first episode of the podcast there was some part in there where one of us said, "Can we just get one Dodgers Yankees World Series in our life?" We just asked for one. I'll never ask for it again. I will never ask for it again.
Only if we lose.
This is all I wanted.
Only if we lose, we'll ask for it.
Well, if we lose and they keep Soto, I may not want to see one because then that they could be the new Astros. 0-2. So we'll see. I only asked for one. And it's here. It's coming. We got it. Dodgers Yankees. I would say in terms of recent championship matchups, are these the 2 biggest franchises we've seen in how long? When was the last time we had two top franchises in the sport going at it.
I mean, I'm not gonna say the Cavs.
Could it be Lakers Celtics?
I was gonna. So like, I mean, look, I'm thinking back to big matchups, right? Even with LeBron, Cavs aren't a top basketball organization, right?
Anything with LeBron, Heat, no. And I mean, Lakers Heat didn't count, so no.
Could you claim Chiefs, Eagles, Chiefs, Bucks? One of those.
I was thinking maybe like Chiefs, Niners last year, even but I feel like the Chiefs. Niners, sure. We can take but no, it has to be Cowboys. Nope, it has to be Cowboys.
Yeah,
it has to.
I'm just.
It has to be Cowboys. No,
who was?
And the Cowboys have never made one in our life. So
was the last Tom Brady Patriots Super Bowl the Rams won? Was that the last Patriots?
That won't be it.
Yes, yeah, I'm just trying to.
That's his last Patriots Super Bowl, though. But that's not.
I think 49ers Chiefs probably would
is the closest we're there
for the NFL. Otherwise, it is Celtics and Lakers.
Celtics, Lakers,
Heat, and
no, nothing with like it has.
I'm sorry,
to be
I'm just thinking LeBron. LeBron is just
any team with LeBron. Nope.
Well, Lakers if they played
but
the Celtics,
it was the Heat, so it didn't count.
It doesn't matter. Yeah.
So this is the biggest championship series since Kobe KG Lakers Celtics. That happened to be back-to-back years, but. Yeah, no, this is quite literally the most, we're talking just franchise value here. This is it right here. Dodgers, Yankees, no, it is Dodgers, Yankees. It spans the entire coast. Like this matchup gets the most people involved, but I also understand for any massive Dodger Yankee haters, definitely more Yankee haters than Dodger ones. For anyone just, going on strike and not watching, I don't really blame you.
This is what I will say.
We do have a lot of haters, and so
I don't blame you. There are a lot of haters, but you only hate one team more than the other. You can't hate them. That's not how it works. And if you want, hey, I'm sorry. If you're a Cincinnati Reds fan, if you're a Miami Marlins fan, right? If you're I don't know who another team would be, the Chicago White Sox fan. This is what good baseball looks like.
Southsiders turn in.
Take some, appreciate yourself, love yourself, and watch one series of good baseball this year. That's all. Yeah. Hey, this is your opportunity. It's gonna at least be a good series, right? So,
I mean, just in terms of star power, you couldn't ask for anything more. The two best players in the MLB, Ohtani and Judge, going at it, and then the second tier stars. You have Soto on the Yankees, and then you have Mookie for us, Freddie, Garrett Cole. The list kind of ends there in terms of big names, but
hey man, you're
telling just me having those names is enough to make this crazy.
Evan Phillips is not a
no, don't think so. Not quite. One of them they're trying to like sneak in Walker, and it's like. No, objectively, yes, he is one of the most well-known players in the series. But
Yamamoto, at least for the playoffs, I would say right now is more.
But this is going to be crazy.
Teoscar?
I think this is going to go 6 games.
I said 6. I said 6.
I think it's going to be a long series. Obviously, Game 7. That's what everybody is asking for. Not us. I don't want it to go Game 7. I don't know if my heart could handle that.
I will say, if it goes Game 7, it's back in LA.
Oh, yeah.
In LA would be sweet.
Oh, yeah. No. But that's why I got in 6.
The hangover of the Dodgers, though, if they win in New York, would be crazy. Just on that airplane, that 9-hour, 8-hour flight would be wild.
The flight back from New York, well, first, they're going to Vegas. So maybe slightly shorter,
you take a detour.
Just a little bit shorter. But like I do want a real ring. Like the last one. Okay, I'll make this point one more time and I'll never bring it up again. But the Lakers ring in the bubble was the hardest NBA championship of all time. I understand you call it Mickey Mouse because it was in Disney World. I get it. Location physically wise. Sure, it was a Mickey Mouse ring. But in terms of the literal ring itself, the road to it, that was that season screwed the Lakers. They were on an absolute roll at the end, and then they just had their summer break mid-season.
With the Dodgers championship that year as well.
Well, yeah, let's get to that. The Dodgers one, that is 100% a Mickey Mouse BS ring. That's a 60-game season. No, I don't count that as a real ring. They did
beat all the best teams, I say in quotations, in the
no. I mean, those teams were the best team. Braves that year were an absolute wagon. That was still one of the craziest series I've ever seen. That 3-1. Oh my god, the fact we came back. The Will Smith, the Kike bomb to tie it. Cody when he hit the bomb and popped his shoulder out celebrating. Oh my god, I rewatch it like twice a month. But I want a real one. I want a real one in an 160 game season that nobody can discount. And going up and beating the Yankees, there's nothing anybody can say. There's no but no, none of that.
The one
Ohtani wasn't even pitching this year.
The one but will be you guys bought a championship, and my rebuttal will be, well, you could have too, and also it was against the Yankees who also spent that much. So
yes,
let's not act like the money really.
This is the thing. People get mad about people bring up Moneyball in that whole situation. Like teams spend money in baseball. That's like no secret. No, everyone is quite aware. There's
not a
big market teams who spend and are willing to meet the luxury tax or exceed it, and then there are franchises who don't. But it's not always about how much you spend. It's more so how do you spend that money? What do you spend that on? And hey, right now, if we're looking contracts, that Tyler Glasnow might be a big mistake. That might be $100-something million down the drain. Not every deal,
injury insurance on that.
Not every deal is smart, and like I give a lot of credit to Dodgers front office for being very hesitant handing out those big contracts. I was a big believer. Do not pay Trey Turner. Everything that makes him good is only going to get worse as he gets older. This is not going to be worth it in year 5, 6, 7 of that deal. He's not going to be worth $30 million per year. And so I was more than okay letting him walk. Same thing with Seager.
Argue that you were talking about
Seager's so bad at fielding. Well. Yeah, and with Teoscar Hernandez, now, last series he's been pretty bad, and you're not going to hear anybody saying re-sign him now. But still, I would be more than okay giving him a 1 year 30, a 2 year 45.
He doesn't want that.
But he wants his long-term future. He's been a little bit of a journeyman past few years, so I'd be shocked if he stayed on a
I would as well
discount. And by a home team discount, I mean like we're still going to pay him like $25 million a year for a year or two.
Look, when you're talking about money, though, I mean, for me, it all goes back to something Nick Saban said. Nick Saban was like, "Look, you can spend as much money as you want, but if you're not getting the guys that are actually worth it, like you could spend however much money and get it done, right? Like you have to spend the money on the right guy."
Yeah. And then you got to go produce with it. You got to go turn that into something. And so for this series going up against the Yankees, I believe the two highest payrolls in the MLB. Maybe the Cardinals got, or not Cardinals. The Mets might be ahead of Yankees. But
they might be.
These are big time teams playing, and I think a big key this series. Real quick, I'll just kind of go through the different departments, like hitting, starters, and bullpen, or the advantages are. Starters, Yankees big advantage when it comes to starters. Garrett Cole, of course, I believe they're going to get Nestor back and Luis Hill. So they've got a 3. I don't know if Nestor will be back. But then Rodon too. But they have a nice blend.
We've seen Rodon enough though.
Oh yeah, no. I'm going to get into a fun fact about Carlos Rodon in a second. But starting pitcher wise, Yankees definitely have an advantage. You definitely are more confident in the Yankees to go deeper into starts than our starters. But hey, with the Dodgers, it's hit or miss. Like they can go 5 scoreless or they're getting shelled. So it's a little bit.
Hey Grant, what was the team Yamamoto played right before he got hurt, and how well did he do? So New York Yankees, that was Yama's last start before he went out for a large portion of the season. Went 7 scoreless, absolutely dicing up the Yankees. And also Teoscar Hernandez kind of
step into the spotlight in that series, going absolutely haywire. Obviously, the grand slam he hit. I think he hit 3 home runs in
I
that
will just
series.
say, I think I have not confirmed this, but I did see a fun fact in the I don't know if it's all time or just regular season, but the Dodgers and Yankees are tied all time 30-30
Tied in like
wins, like against each other, record against
that
each other.
must be series because they've certainly played more than 60 total baseball games.
Series.
But
it might be series.
That would be a crazy stat. I saw like
I might fact check that.
Yeah. If you that'd be great. Pull that up. But I do know, hey, from 77 to 81, Dodgers Yankees played 3 times. Yankees won the first 2. That's Reggie Jackson, Mr. October, absolutely lighting up Oral Hershiser. And then 81, in the rookie year of a all-time great Dodger legend, Fernando Valenzuela, in his magnificent rookie year, winning essentially every single award you could possibly imagine. And also while we're at it, rest in peace, Fernando Valenzuela. He is quite literally one of the most influential players in Dodger baseball history. With him coming in as a rookie, 19-year-old, throwing 20 complete games in his first year, winning the World Series, winning World Series MVP, winning Cy Young. He even won Silver Slugger that year too. But it was awful to see him pass away. That's awful. He's a guy that I've known my whole life, like synonymous with the Dodgers. And so, yeah,
I will say, you want to talk about teams having motivation. That's an all timer.
That's a dagger straight to the heart to this clubhouse. And it's like Fernando Valenzuela, the impact he's had on all the players, especially, like, I know how involved he is just with the Dodgers on a day-to-day basis, just going up to the players and being a resource. So
my computer started, doing some weird stuff when
there's a little bit of funkiness going on.
I don't know what goes on sometimes when I pull up an extra tab, my computer just decides to,
you're all good now. You're all good.
I at least since 2004, they're 11-11. Or
okay.
It said all time, but the only value they had up to from was like 2004 and now. So
nice.
You know what? Go with that information.
Not quite all time, but
we'll just say that they're tied. I'm going on that basis.
I'd say other quick little fun fact before. Well,
let's starters. Yankees. Starters.
Stars, Yankees, for sure. Bullpen, Dodgers have an advantage there right now. Just the 4-headed monster out of the pen, and Vesia may be coming back too, but Treinen is disgusting. I don't know how, but he came back from injury and he became the most disgusting version of himself he's been in his whole career. That dude's sweeper sinker combo, the tunneling on that is, I don't know how you hit that. Well, you don't hit it. So he's out of this world right now. Phillips has been unbelievable. He hasn't given up a run yet in the postseason. Kopech, of course, that was another guy we acquired at the deadline. I remember when that happened, I was a big time believer, and a lot of people were being like, oh, what do you mean? He has a 3.8 ERA. It's like he's pitching for the White Sox.
He's their whole
every
bullpen.
Time his average appearance in a game, he comes in with bases loaded, no outs. That's his average appearance. So obviously it's going to be a little bit better in a better scenery, getting put in better situations. Vesia, if he can come back. My goodness.
And hey, potential Bruzdar, I think as well is still in
I would highly doubt Bruzdar comes back. I'd be shocked. Obviously I'd love to have him back, but I'm not even considering that as an option for the most part. But yeah, bullpen advantage for us, but the Yankees may have the best reliever in this series. Luke Weaver has been electric. Now, I'm not sure if you've seen any of his interviews recently, but he's a younger guy, like early mid-20s. And he might be like the most friend bro baseball player ever. Like the most relaxed, nonchalant, like, yeah, man, I just go up there, try to, throw the best I can. Yeah, strikeouts are good. I try to get as much as I can.
As long as I can try and do something.
It's hilarious. And it's like he's very likable. And so I hope we get to him.
Very
He gave that
frat
bomb.
guy vibes. Is that what I'm
Yes,
kind of
yes.
hearing? Yeah.
He gave that bomb to Big Christmas Noel in Cleveland to tie it up. They obviously went on to go win that one game, but for the most part, he's been lights out. And that's going to be a big time matchup. Weaver against Ohtani, Mookie, Freddie, all those guys. Hitting wise lineup. Overall, it is the Dodgers. Back end of the lineup, Tommy Edman is producing. Yeah. Kike is unreal. We got dudes at the end producing a bit more than the Yankees, but I will say this. The best player in this series plays for the New York Yankees, Everett. And do you know who that is?
I know it's Juan Soto.
Juan Soto is the best baseball player I've ever watched in my life in the playoffs. He's quite literally the reincarnation of Ted Williams. This dude, he does not chase. And if you leave anything over the middle, that's 440.
Now, what if we put Juan Soto up against a Shohei Ohtani that only comes up when there are runners in scoring position?
Shohei with runners in the scoring position might be the best. I don't have a comparison because I think he's still like 18 of his last 24 going back to the regular season.
Yeah.
He's that's genuinely the most crazy. Like
that is
if
wild.
You were playing on like rookie on MLB The Show, it might be hard.
I'm going to be honest. You get to the point where I would get to the point where I'm like, just intentionally walk him. I'd rather walk a guy in than risk getting a.
So that's what Padres and Mets were doing. And then Mookie came out and just hit bombs. And so now it's like, Mookie's hot. We can't you have to pitch around and you got to, if there's one thing about Ohtani though, like it's terrifying. You don't want to hang it, but like,
he'll swing.
He strikes out a good amount. Swings. So you can.
All right, but Grant,
it's a trade-off. But
let's have a little fun with this real quick.
Soto is going to be the most terrifying, scary out. And if we walked him every single AB, I'd be like, that? Okay, great. All right, I understand.
Yeah, I'm actually in for a great time. I have seen limited Juan Soto at bats in my
You're going to be horrified. I don't know if he still shuffles as much, but I'll get you this video. It's a John Boy video. 2019 World Series, Juan Soto's rookie year. The Nationals, they won that World Series. Juan Soto is going up against Zach Greinke and just alphaing Greinke. He even threw a strike one time, still did the Soto shuffle, and Greinke was rattled after throwing a strike that he took. Still had him rattled. I mean, Soto's horrifying. He's horrifying out. He's quite literally the definition of the scary hitter I've been talking about.
Let's have a little bit of fun of this. How many? I know you already said 6 games, but winner in how many games and World Series MVP?
Dodgers in 6, and World Series MVP is going to be. I think it's going to be Ohtani, but I'm not going to say that answer. I think it's going to be him. But
let's just say disregard
World Series MVPs. They're random. There's no correlation really. I'm going to say Max Muncy.
Okay. I'm taking out the Shohei factor because obviously it's the asterisk. Of course, you have to be like, if Shohei doesn't win it, then this guy, right?
And I'll be honest, when it comes to baseball, like usually the random 8-hitter wins it. Like usually the random guy at the end of the lineup wins it. So
I'm gonna say
you could say anyone right now. Like
Dodgers in 6. I want to say Tommy Edman, but I'm going with Kike Hernandez.
I was about to say Kike Hernandez probably seems like the best value bet right now.
I have
no idea what the odds are, but
great bet. If
I may need to sprinkle a little bit on that. That sounds pretty enticing now that I say it.
We're just gonna get a random Gavin Lux winner. I'm like, how did that happen?
Would not shock. If you told me right now Gavin Lux wins World Series MVP, I'd be like, that okay.
The one that would surprise me the most right now would be Freddie Freeman because of injury, but also
honestly,
if he did come out and play well,
Kirk
even on
Gibson,
injury, then you'd be like,
Freddie Freeman, Kirk Gibson's this. Like I've been saying this, messing with my brother. I don't want to fantasize, get ahead of myself, but like if I could pick a fairy tale ending, it would be Game 7, bottom of the ninth. We are down 2. Ohtani gets on, Mookie gets on, and we pinch hit Freddie Freeman walk off 3-run bomb. And I want the Freddie Freeman walk off because he'll carry that into next year and he'll have a Goldschmidt MVP season when Goldie was 37. Don't start hating on Freddie. I am not out on Freddie yet. I think my dad's out on Freddie, which is a bad sign because like that's my dad's favorite player. He's the old man on the team.
Let's clarify out on Freddie for this season. That doesn't mean the rest of his career.
I'm talking career. Like my dad might be out on Freddie. I am not ready to be out. Just this whole season was just this was just a very down year for him, for his standard.
Yes, it's still above average. It's clear.
We expect the 910, 950 OPS, and he only gave us 860. I know, guys. I'm pissed too. I wanted 910, but
okay.
I'm not out on Freddie. I still think he can put up a 960.
Let's move into the NFL now. Obviously, we have. It's
I got one last fun fact. Yeah. I just got one last fun fact about this. So a lot of people. I've been seeing a ton of edits of Frank Sinatra, New York, into California Love specifically. Just the New York, LA, just montages. Everett, fun fact of the day. This is gonna break Yankees fans' heart. Luca, if you're listening right now, pay close attention. Everett, take a wild guess what Frank Sinatra's favorite baseball team was.
Would it have been the Brooklyn Dodgers at the time?
It was the Brooklyn Dodgers. Yeah. Frank Sinatra is a Dodger fan. And when they moved out to LA, I looked this up. There's pictures of him throwing first pitches at Dodger games in LA at Dodger Stadium. Bang. So that's our song. New York, that's my song.
The most villainous thing the Dodgers could ever do is if it goes to game 7, they just win in LA, game 5, whatever, game 7. They just play New York.
Well, I was just thinking of troll jobs. Like if one of our players like walked up to Empire State of Mind as their walk-up song, that'd be hilarious. That'd be so funny.
There's a lot of possibilities here. I think the most villainous thing a team could ever do if they won is instead of doing the victory parade in their city, you do it in the opponent's city. Just say, fuck it. Do that shit in New York. Dodgers, New York out.
That'd be so hard. Nobody's villainous. No, you would get framed with like beer can. No, they're getting Texas student section.
Yeah, no, well, yeah. It also depends how big the team. Like the Dodgers have fans everywhere, so they did it. Yeah, you would have people, but it would be that is villainous. That is evil.
That is
so vicious.
Literally evil. Yeah, vicious.
That is exactly something I would expect Dan Campbell to do. By the way, but
what if he? Oh my god! Hey. If the Lions won a Super Bowl and held their party in Green Bay, you'd have to go. I know it's the Lions, but you'd have to go. I
think I'd be so depressed the Lions won a Super Bowl before the Vikings.
Just for a day to hate the Packers. Just for a day.
I think I'd just be so sad. I don't know if if the Lions or the Bears ever win a Super Bowl in modern, winning a Super Bowl before the Vikings, I do not think you will hear or see me on the podcast for a
worse than the Packers.
Packers at least have won one recently, so I give it an exception. The fact the Lions haven't even made a Super Bowl.
Just to make sure, though. Okay, let's do this. I need you to rank.
We're moving the NFL anyway, so this works.
I need you to rank your hate. Packers, Lions, rank them.
Packers, Lions, Bears. That order exactly. Packers, Lions, Bears. Lions are getting very close. They are getting there. There are some Lions fans.
When we first started this podcast, they were last.
No, yeah, they were last. For sure.
They have now etched into shit. I haven't heard you say a bad thing about Jordan Love in months. The Lions, though.
No, I said he sucked nuts after we played them. But
but when it comes to Lions, I mean, you and hating Lions, that might be your hobby.
Campbell's gotten there. I respect Dan Campbell as a coach, minus the whole Kirby Joseph. Let's go fucking kill TJ Hawkins.
Yeah, no, that part's not cool.
He took eating kneecaps,
and that's your former player, dude. Like,
what? Dude, what are we doing? But outside of that,
you're gonna treat former employees
him as a coach. Yeah, quite the policy over there. But
you get sued for that in the finance world.
If the Lions the utmost worst thing, Packers, then Bears, then Lions in order of how to least depressed to most depressed I'd be. If the Lions ever
depression rankings.
Yeah, if the Lions ever win a Super Bowl before the Vikings do, I promise you,
they've never made a Super Bowl. Right?
No, that's what they have never made a Super Bowl. If that happens, like last year, I was on edge on the mere fact the Lions. It might be Lions Packers, and I was like,
"Oh, you were so happy! Oh, you love that ref crew."
Oh, I did. No, I did. And I was sitting there. I was like, if it's Lions Packers, I'm gonna cheer for the Packers, and I'm gonna hate every fucking minute of it. I would cheer for an asteroid to hit the stadium first, but
exactly. That's what my dad says when it comes to like Michigan and a lot of teams. He's like, I hope an asteroid comes down and hits both teams.
Okay.
Last fun fact about the World Series I got.
God damn it, Grant. We're in the NFL,
but it's a rivalry. This is fun. So Tom Brady came out. He was on a podcast. Tom Brady was asked, Dodgers or Yankees World Series. Now,
San Francisco kid.
That's why I was going to get
Dodgers. So
San Francisco kid, but New England, Boston, what carries more weight? Tom Brady said Yankees without hesitation.
Yeah,
that
you
hate
the Dodgers.
Hate runs deep.
That's still kind of NFL related.
I respect him. I respect him for that.
No, I respect him. But
he's willing to piss off his fans. Fandom. I respect that.
Making this statement now for all of you fans listening, or if something happens and you are confused as to why something happened, you can come back to this video and understand. If the Lions ever win the Super Bowl before the Vikings do, I will not be on the podcast for at least a week, and Grant will not hear from me for at least 5 days. I'll get a guest.
I will have a guest.
It will be. Grant will not even hear me. He will just know. He's like, oh fuck, all right, just locked in. He's not. He's going to check and get no response.
I'm just saying, guys. Remember, if anyone ever questions my dedication to the podcast, I came on here like the day of Michigan winning the Natty. All right. So never question me, anyone. Okay. I've shown pain.
Yeah, I will say on this podcast. Before we started the podcast, there was a 1 week grace period before Grant texted me again. But after the Michigan loss. But
and it was fair.
I will say, well, yeah, that's my I don't get upset too much about sports. Like I'll come on here and do it. You know, I'll suck it up. I'll be here. I'll make it happen. There are 3 things in this world, 2 things in this world that would make me actually have to take a minute. One is the Lions beating the Vikings for a Super Bowl.
Beating the Vikings,
meaning to get to win the Super Bowl, right? The Lions could be in the Super Bowl, and if they lose, cool, that's fine. I don't care.
Yeah, you don't care.
They win, different story. There's that.
If you lose a Super Bowl, you're the first loser.
There's that. The Vikings losing another Super Bowl, which will be the first one in my lifetime. I would come on the podcast, but I might actually cry. Like I might be in tears, and we would have to record that right after the loss, because otherwise I would not come on.
Sure, yeah.
The last one would be Tulane somehow making a natty and losing. That's the last.
Tulane.
Yeah, if that happened, okay, that would take me out. But okay, great. Let's get into the NFL slate for this week. We both went 10-5 as last week, so I think that means you still have to do it as the
we go to overall. Well, we go to overall record.
Oh, do we? Is that the deferment? Okay,
and I'm down on.
Just clarifying, I am 56 and
34.
34. Yes, you are correct. 56.
I am 52 and 38. I'm at 57. I'm at 57.
Are you above 60% yet?
No. I'm at 57.
Oh, you're at 57%.
But that is what I'm looking for. I'm getting the ball
this week. You can get it this week.
I'm kind of on a hot streak, if you guys couldn't already tell.
I am too, though. That's the thing.
Oh, no. True. But you're supposed to be in your hot season right now.
No, I'm not. At this point of the season, I'm not supposed to be.
We're still in the first half. We're like 2 weeks away.
Next week.
At the end of week 8. So at the end of this week, that's when the turntables have tied.
So this is my part of the
season. That's when the tide tables have turned.
I need to lock in week 9. If I can't get 10 wins week 9, see you later.
Yeah. We'll find out in a second here, but this is before Thursday night football.
30 minutes before, so you got to lock
So
in.
we get to count those as games today, and I'm riding this week. But
I just
let me
want to
announce the games
timestamp
first.
this. Timestamp
4:30,
6
6:32.
6:32, 45 seconds, October 24th. All right,
Yeah.
timestamp.
But all right, okay. Games of the week: Thursday night football, Vikings at Rams in SoFi. Night after the Intuit Dome debut. And Everett, let's just say next time you're out in LA, that's what we're doing. We're going to a Clipper game. We have to. Holy
God.
shit, it looks so cool. We don't need to watch the game itself. We can
Do we
look
have
at
to
the
get on
stadium.
the wall?
Yes, we need the water boys on that. They have a SoFi Jumbotron in the Intuit Dome, like a smaller that surround thing.
And the Halo ring.
Yeah, the Halo thing. It looks.
Yeah, it did look sweet.
I can't even imagine a concert in there. That would be crazy. But early slate. Eagles at Bengals. Kind of a interesting game. An interesting game. Ravens at Browns. Ugh, is DTR starting? Who's starting?
Oh, Jameis.
Oh, thank God.
Keep going. You'll see your games.
I may have to go vibes. I may have to go vibes on Jameis. Titans at Lions. Gross. Cardinals at Dolphins. Jets at Patriots. The hate game. Falcons at Bucks. Another hate game. Packers at Jags. Gross. Last Doug Peterson game. Colts at Texans. Hate game. Saints at Chargers. Hide. Close your eyes. Do not watch. Run away. Hide. Leave the state. Bills at Seahawks, great game. Panthers at Broncos, Chiefs at Raiders, Bears at Commanders, PMT game. Cowboys at Niners. Those are the two biggest brands in football. I know they can't meet in the Super Bowl, but that would be the equivalent. That can't happen, I know, but that would be it. And then Giants at Steelers.
Then probably Patriots, and then probably Chiefs because of recency.
Right now, Chiefs.
Dolphins maybe in there somewhere. I don't know.
I don't think they're on the same pedestal as Chiefs.
No, they're not. They're not in the same pedestal. Not in the same.
Pedestal. Yeah, no.
Steelers also, but
yeah, Steelers up there. Yes. But okay. Here are my picks: Vikings, Eagles, Ravens, Lions, Tua ** Dolphins.
I have the
Tua
same thing.
Dolphins.
I have the same thing.
Tua * Dolphins.
Okay.
Jets, Falcons. I kind of hate the Falcons pick though. I know Bucks have no wide receivers, but like I've said in the past, injuries should not influence me. But
it's different when Falcons both starting wide receivers
are out. Fair. Packers, Texans, Chargers. I hate it. I'm picking the Bills, but I know the Seahawks are going to win. Broncos, Chiefs, Bears, Niners, Steelers.
All right, we have two differences this week, right? So you cannot take the lead. Vikings, Bengals, that was my I don't know what the fuck to do game. Ravens, Lions, Cardinals, asterisk if Tua starts, Dolphins. Yeah. Jets, Falcons, which I'll come back to, Packers, Texans, Chargers, Bills, Broncos, Chiefs, Commanders. Oh, actually, can I get an asterisk on that?
Yes,
Jaden Daniels is dead. So let me.
I think he's going to play, but
who's the backup to? Oh, it's Marcus Mariota.
Give me an still do it.
Fuck it. You know what? I'm a man of my word.
Okay.
I'm just taking it.
I'm not.
You
don't need to do that. You don't need to do that.
No, I'm going to take it. All right.
Okay.
This is.
I think he's going to play.
I think this is the day that the whole momentum shift was going to be. It's from that one game. It's going to be.
But that might be the downfall of your Roman Empire.
Yeah. 49ers and Steelers. So I want to talk about the Falcons-Bucks game first.
Yeah.
First of all, in division game, everything's out the fucking window, right? That's the rule that applies. But Bucks came into Falcons, beat them.
Yeah.
I think that now you're going to have Falcons going there. Falcons are going to win that game.
And the Godwin and Evans, that's a lot of firepower.
You're going to have AJ Terrell.
I don't know if Bucky Irving can cover that.
You're going to have AJ Terrell locking down, McMillan? Maybe
Sterling
Shepard?
Yeah, all right. Yeah, no, I'm feeling pretty
you feel good better. Yeah, I feel better.
Yeah, no, you bought me. You put me back on.
The other thing I wanted to look at,
I can also see the
was
Falcons just going win loss all year, just win loss win loss win loss.
Yeah, no, that's very, very
9-8.
possible. The other thing I wanted to look at, the other game really that interests me was my other. I don't know what to do about this, and that's
Eagles
the
Bengals. Oh,
two. Well, then two technically, yeah. Cowboys Niners. I want to look at first. Cowboys Niners. I chose Niners just because I'm like the Cowboys suck, but Brock Purdy
I
looked
can't
so
pick the
bad
Cowboys. I can't.
without starting wide receivers. Debo Samuel is back. He's healthy. Ricky Pearsall is
Shout out that
playing.
little kid crying over his fantasy team. I feel
Yeah,
you,
hey,
dog.
shout
I
out.
feel you. Shout out that guy.
But
But
Ricky Pearsall is playing. I don't think Juwan Jennings is, but they still got Chris Conley and
oh, really? No, Jen.
Ronnie
Oh,
Bell. I think
damn.
Juwan Jennings is out. But
Okay.
I feel okay. I feel okay. I think Deron Bland took a big regression this year. I think Diggs took a big regression this year.
Coming back
Um,
from injury too. Yeah, it's gonna be
like
hard.
Cowboys have looked horrific on
Awful
offense
on defense.
and
Oh, I'm thinking defense specifically. Yeah, the
yeah.
offense is also what am I
So,
watching?
so I mean, I think this is a must-win game for both teams, and I think that the
Yeah,
49ers are a little bit more of a it's in Santa Clara, let's lock in. But going into the Eagles and Bengals, all right, this I legitimately did not know. The Bengals have looked
this is
horrific this
crazy.
year. The Eagles have looked okay, but should look horrific is my other concern.
Yeah,
The
the
big
thing
thing,
is, mhm,
Bengals just lost Dax Hill, their starting safety. AJ Brown is back. The Bengals secondary looks horrendous.
they look
on
awful.
on the contrary, all right, Bengals kind of getting the groove of things on offense. All right, they're looking better.
Very in the groove of things
They're in
on
the groove.
offense, I would
They
say.
also have
Very in the
lost
groove.
to good teams by very close
Yeah.
margins this year.
Oh, I don't. Yeah, I expect this to be a 24-20,
And
24-21.
I think that this is kind of that groove. Like the Bengals always start out slow. Like this is your thing. You always
Yeah,
start, the Bengals are always slow. I think
they're
that
now 1-9, weeks 1 and 2, Joe Burrow's career.
I also think that that's a you need to fire Zach Taylor ordeal, but let's figure that
Oh
out after
yeah,
the season.
no, yeah. All any
Um,
Bengals Ohio State fans I follow, they're done with Zach Taylor. They're done.
yeah, I mean, it would be making history if the Bengals made the playoffs this year. Let's put it that way.
And it's crazy because like 3 and 4, they're in. It's not over yet.
Just because they started
They are
off
in
like what
striking
they
range.
started off 0-3, I believe.
Yeah,
Yeah, they started off. They lost the Pats, lost the Chiefs, lost the Commanders. All right.
yeah.
The
Losing to
last
the
loss
Pats.
came to the
What?
Ravens 3 weeks ago, and that was on a game they should have won if you remember that one. So they just
Yeah.
Pearson missed that. So I mean, versus three teams, I mean they've lost every game by one score, and versus the three good
Yeah,
teams
they're
that
always
they
in it.
played, versus the three good teams that they played, they lost by a combined 1 point, 5 points, 3 points. So
Yeah, the big thing I'm looking at, the reason why I'm picking Eagles and not looking back, just difference in line play.
oh
Like
yeah,
Eagles on
don't
both
get me
sides,
wrong.
so much better. And if it's a nitpicky like toss up game and there's that big of an advantage on both sides of the ball when it comes to O line and D line, I'm gonna pick the team with the better lines.
Don't get me wrong. And yeah, no, I agree with that. I just am like
No, yeah, I'm still not feeling great
I
about
just
the.
I
It's
don't
still a
think that
50
yeah, there's
50
not there it's a coin flip
because the Eagles' defense is just like, ugh. And even then, like,
it
just some of the
legitimately may come down
Sirianni
to
decisions it's just like, dude,
yeah, it may come down to who gets the kickoff in the second half. Like that might be it.
yeah,
Might
it
be
may
it.
come down to, yeah, like if last minute drive, someone's got to go down and win it. Yeah, wouldn't be shocked at all if that happened.
Yeah,
I'd say
that's a stay away game.
the other matchup I'm pretty interested, Bills Seahawks. I can't get a read on the Cardinals or the Seahawks this
I
year. I
think the
cannot get a
Bills are
read
about to
on them.
smack the Seahawks.
Smack, smack.
Smack.
Okay,
I know they're going across the country. I know. Like that's a big thing. They're going all the way to Seattle. That's huge.
I
But
couldn't tell you the last time the Buffalo Bills have played in Seattle.
it's been a while. But I think that DK is hurt,
He is.
and well, yeah, I shouldn't say think he is hurt. But I think now that the Bills have Amari Cooper and that offense is working, like it changes the game a lot.
I'll also
The way
say,
you're gonna
like,
approach them.
obviously Amari Cooper helps a ton, but like Khalil Shakir's not awful. I'm not saying he's like great, but
No,
like for
he's not
a
awful, but
third option,
yeah,
Kincaid even ahead, like he's not
you
awful.
still have
Like the
James Cook.
Bills, yeah, I think this year we're seeing Josh Allen like really have to Superman right now. He leads the NFL in EPA per play. Like he is absolutely destroying right now in terms of like individual contributions on his own. He's not putting up the same numbers he has in the past. But Josh Allen is probably playing the best season of his career. And if Lamar Jackson wasn't just absolutely lining it up right now, like I think Josh Allen for MVP is very alive.
Yeah, no, I mean he's probably. It's also been a weird year where it's not like yeah, Lamar is doing Lamar things, but it's also not
Yeah.
like oh my god, look, like it
Yeah,
is just
with Lamar, I've just been so impressed with his passing. Like he
no,
has been
yes. Well,
like
that's certain
so
games in certain games.
like
You
he's
know,
had, but like his past couple of starts, I was looking at
I
some of his numbers. He stepped it up
I
against
will
the
be
Blitz. Like that
honest.
was a big thing in the
It
past,
is
and
not a high
he's
chance, but there is a chance Derrick Henry is in that conversation for MVP this
oh 100%. Like hey, before the season, Everett, what was I saying? I don't think the NFL is ready for Lamar Jackson and Derrick Henry. I don't think as an NFL community we've processed that yet.
No, yeah,
How do you
yeah.
guard that?
And it
And
also,
Lamar
they're
can
like multiple
throw.
GMs
How
were
do you
like,
defend
yeah, we
that?
might have kind of missed on that one. Like, how did you miss? It's Derrick Henry.
Yeah, like I
What?
mean, it's going to be tough stopping that offense.
Like, I
And if they
understand
have
if
a
you're the
lead,
Chargers and you just don't have the money to spend, one thing. But like, what? What are we talking about? Giants, Ravens, like Vikings, even hello. Like, I know
I
Aaron
think
Jones,
Aaron Jones kind of
but
perfect for the Vikings
to
though.
be
But
fair, they didn't. That Aaron Jones wasn't even an option until after Derrick Henry signed.
oh yeah.
But
But
also like Raiders, like dude,
oh, they could use it.
yeah, like
And Derrick
uh,
Henry might like quite literally be
49ers could have known. They would have known then that CMC was messed up. You could have gotten Derrick. Would have been confused, but could have gotten him.
even then. I think McCaffrey and Derrick Henry like
Disgusting. Two-man backfield.
together, they could
Two-man
figure something
backfield.
out. They
Two-man
could
back to
figure
be
they
just
could figure
oh my
something out.
god.
That might be the great that's quite literally Reggie Bush, Lendell White 2.0, but just in the NFL. That's thunder and lightning on steroids right there. My
Yeah.
God. Uh, but yeah, no, those are kind of big matchups. Bears Commanders I'm really interested in too, but like for me, I'd say I
Cowboys.
my
Jerry, what are we
big
doing?
oh yeah. Well, Zeke,
Yeah, don't
trust,
worry.
trust Zeke.
We have Zeke and Dalvin.
I love you, Zeke, but Zeke's
Don't
dad's
worry.
offering 10 grand to anyone who has evidence that Zeke is washed. And it's like, dude,
Oh
you're throwing
no.
away 10 grand, bro. Do
Like, oh
not.
no.
That's going to do
Hey,
more
I don't think
damage to
that's not
Zeke.
an enforceable contract. So we're chilling, but
Yeah, obviously, if Zeke's dad actually did that,
it'd be
well,
crazy.
I'd tip the cap. That'd be
Yeah,
respect,
it's
but
the
no way.
4-year-old, the
Yeah, no way.
respect. Yeah. Still, by the
But
way, I
yeah, no,
think great meme.
those are kind of big NFL games. I want to go over. There's a lot of gross ones. I've never seen this many
Disgusting.
large point spreads all week.
Yeah.
Ravens eight and a
Let me
half, Lions
the
11, Jets 7 points, Chargers
there
7 points,
so this game
Broncos
starts in
10, Chiefs 10.
this game
Yeah,
starts in 14 minutes. So let me just do my best. Look, we talked. There's nothing. You want to go to college football? Last episode, right? Like I don't know what you want to like. Sorry, but Vikings Ram. I'm going to do my best ability to both see the future of after the game and then just talk about what might happen in the game, right?
Yeah.
So the big thing is the Vikings opted to not bring TJ Hawkinson back off, activate him essentially today. So they are required to do this by tomorrow at 3 p.m. Central. Otherwise, he cannot be activated the rest of the season. So the one nice thing is he'll have 10 days of rest because of this Thursday night game. So the timeline worked out pretty well. It does just get interesting though. Like that, I mean, that is interesting. I do like the fact that they waited to do that until today because, the Rams are gonna be like, do we have to, prepared
That's
for
what
it.
I say when it comes to why would you disclose if a
But
player is injured or
this
not when you
is
don't have to?
it
Why
is a
would
little.
you?
There's some gray areas though, like that. That's one of those gray areas. Like today, like the same thing with Cooper Cup and Puka. They did the same thing. But this is my concern, Rant. Over the last 10 quarters entering this game, the Vikings have scored only 3 offensive TDs, and which is the least in the NFL during that span. So 3 TDs on 30 possessions, man. That's 1 every 10. I'm just doing
Yeah.
quick math for you. I know it's, it takes me a while too. So, um, my concern is I need to see production. I am starting to, if that is the case and that holds up, I'm getting Josh Dobbs vibes, and I don't like that. We do not need Pastronaut vibes on this. All right. So, which
And
is
you
obviously different.
take me higher.
Fantastic part of the greatest part of last season, by the
One
way.
of the greatest
But
edits I've ever seen in my life. But yeah.
fantastic. But I'm concerned about Kevin O'Connell's play calling ability. If it just
Yeah,
happens to be every time we
this
get
is
to a point in
something
the
you brought up
season,
last year. This is what I
every time we get
remember.
to the point in the season, it feels like, Kevin O'Connell gets figured out, like play call, like, it just stalls. And, you got to have a switch up or figure someone out where you're not just going to get sought out. Like the one thing Sean McVay does so well is Sean McVay's like, dude, fucking, I'm just going to drop a new playbook in week 3. Like, all right, we're just going to new install week 4. Don't
Install
care.
brand new formation that I haven't even
Literally.
seen before.
No, like that's literally, I shit you not. That is the difference. Is you'll have coaches like that who'll just be like, all right, we're not gonna, or like, Shanahan will be like, we're not gonna do a full new install, but I did just drop 3 new formations that we're gonna run out. All right, so let's ready, break. And I haven't really seen that from Kevin O'Connell. And at the start of the year, he was running a lot more. He was just getting feisty with it. He was running double passes, flea flickers, everything that you could think of. Last week, to be fair, we did have a Justin Jefferson attempted throw, which I liked to see. It was a reverse pass downfield, which I like to see.
Oh, yes, I saw that.
But I need to see more ferocity out of Kevin O'Connell because I think it's lackluster a little bit. And I think that if that's the case, the Vikings probably will have a difficult time going down the stretch. I know it's an easy slate, but also with that going the rest of the season, I don't want you falling the trap game kind of vibe and also be like, yeah, dude, like we don't need, like these teams, why would we need to do it? If we do not beat the Jaguars by 25 points, Kevin O'Connell, we have an issue. All right. There is a problem here. Rams, one thing. I swear to God, if we do not beat the Jaguars by double digits, there is at least 2.5 scores problem. I need a red alert. All right. We have an issue. This is DEFCON 5. All right.
Ooh,
so
5.
Yeah, for this season, it's DEFCON 5. All right.
Okay.
But it is easy. You lose one game. It's easy to slip out of there. We've had an issue where we start off hot and just cool off the entire rest of the game. I do like the fact that we were fighting back towards the end of the game, but you're kicking field goals. We need to get touchdowns. So we'll see how the end of this game works. We'll see how, it goes. But I'm expecting run heavy offense. I'm expecting to get a little bit more intensity out of Kevin O'Connell. And I'm expecting Brian Flores to switch up looks. We'll look back on this next week. We'll see how right I was. But
yeah, I would say if there's one big thing where I think you can take a big advantage of is that Rams O-line. Now, I know Puka and Cup might be playing, but Jonah Jackson's still not back. Steve Avila not back. They're still banged up front. And so if there is one aspect of the game where I think you can dominate, lights out, no debate, Brian Flores front 7 versus that Rams O-line.
I'm also going to add Vikings fans, you see clamoring for Dexter Lawrence, all this stuff. That's a whole nother issue that I'm not even going to get into right now because
you guys want D-Law?
Some Vikings fans want D-Law and Giants fans are responding being like, yeah, you can get D-Law and DJ, Danny Dimes for Justin Jefferson. Justin Jefferson, JJ McCarthy, and picks. I'm like, what? No, what the fuck? What? But Harrison Phillips is having a top 5 year at the nose tackle position. Why do we need to go get Dexter? Somebody like rotation, maybe, but why would you go and spend all that money when you have that there? I don't.
You guys look good up front.
Other issues. But yeah, that's the deal there. And I don't know how much if you want to talk about LSU, Texas A&M at all, but This game
That
is
one's up
starting.
for ups. I got no real opinion on it. I think LSU is gonna win it. I just
Yeah,
trust Nussmeier and that offense more, and LSU's defense. Hey, unfortunately, I was correct. Harold Perkins out for the season was the fix that the LSU defense needed. And they look like they're rolling. They look like they're quite good. A&M Wegman looks pretty good though too. There ever there's a chance Notre Dame's defense might be really good. There's a chance. There's a chance. But I it's going to be in College Station. I can guarantee they'll be up for this. I can't guarantee they'll be up for that Texas one end of the year, but I think yeah, no, I'm picking LSU for this one, and I'm staying too. I'm picking Aggies for that A&M Texas game end of the year. I am. I'm full in on the Aggies on that one, but yeah, I
we
like
do also have
LSU.
Notre Dame at Navy. Apparently, I'm getting an ad for it right now.
Yeah, that's there's nothing to talk about there. Take Notre
Triple
Dame
option.
and
Triple
lay the
option.
14. You're chilling. Yeah, those are kind of the only. I don't think you want to talk about the I game of the week, Everett. Boise State UNLV. Very good chance the winner of this game will be in the college football playoff.
Very yes.
You can't pick against him. Genti, give me Michael Myers. It's about to be Halloween too.
If
Yeah.
I legitimately think outside of UNLV fans, if you're cheering for a G5 team, you're cheering for Boise or Tulane, but Boise, to make the playoffs because
Yes, we want to see Genti on
entertainment
that biggest stage.
and
Yes.
also purely basis of I want Ashton Genti to win the Heisman. If he's going to win the Heisman,
He's going to need to win this game
he's going to
big.
need and he's also going to need to make the playoffs most. So
this is probably going to be their second most watched game of the year behind the Oregon one. This might even be more watched than the Oregon one because people didn't really expect Boise State to be that crazy for Oregon.
Yeah.
So I have no idea. I'm going to be locked in for this one. This will be Friday, 7:30 p.m. I'm looking at it right now.
You got Dodgers game at the same time, so I don't know.
No, I know, and USC starts at 8, 30 minutes right afterwards.
Yeah, it is a big, Friday night in Los Angeles. By the way, they have like 2 high school games that are big matchups too. I guess
so they have Mater Dei Bosco. They also have a high school football game at SoFi. There's the Dodger Yankee World Series playoff game 1. There is a USC football game. Oh, yeah, and Everett, guess what else is going on? The Lakers are playing. Everything is
physically possible besides the Chargers.
Do not leave your house. Yeah. Chargers powered off on Friday night. But do not leave the house if you're in LA on Friday. Or
unless you're going to
wherever you go.
Unless you're going to the Dome.
Yeah, no, yeah. Unless you are going to Kazan, but do not go anywhere Friday. It's gonna be you're not gonna have a good time. You remember? I think you got like a real reminder of LA traffic when we went to Dodger Stadium for a Friday regular season game.
And of course, that was the one game. That was the one game I opted to drive.
Oh yeah. No. That was the bullet on that one.
I took one for the team, but oh my god, that was
atrocious,
horrible decision. I think that makes up for every time you picked me up at LAX. That makes up for every time you've picked me up at LAX.
Ooh, I don't know about that.
Hey, we just get in and get out at LAX when you've had to get me. But at least once you get me, it's get out.
That one. You have to plan your whole afternoon around going to LA. Like that's such a large chunk of time just gone.
Hey, that was like a 2.5 hour drive to get to Dodger Stadium. And I really had to use the bathroom.
It'll probably be 4 hours to get to Dodger Stadium.
I'm going to be honest. If I had a ticket for this game, I do not care. If it's a 6 p.m. game, I'm getting there at 2 p.m. I'm just going to sit there.
You would have to leave quite early to get there and ensure you'll see the opening pitch. But
I think with that though,
that's gonna do it.
We're gonna wrap up the episode here. We got the Vikings game starting in 15 minutes, big time.
With that, is Aaron Jones playing? Fantasy question.
Yes. Yeah, lock in your lineups, but With it, thank you guys so much for watching, listening, rate 5 stars. You can find us on Spotify, TikTok, Twitter, and on Instagram at Waterboy Pod. You can follow me and Grant on Twitter at Everett Stakes and at Waterboy Grant. Post new episodes every week, so make sure on Spotify, YouTube, TikTok, and not TikTok, Spotify, YouTube, and all podcast
Follow us on
platforms.
TikTok.
Yeah, follow us on TikTok though. But make sure to subscribe so you don't miss any episodes. We also post exclusive content on Instagram and on TikTok. So check us out there so you don't miss any other bits. We'll see you guys in the next episode when the Vikings hopefully have beaten the Rams. See you then. Waterboys out.